Ken Ellison from Ellison Machine Shop. Y'all know me, I'm your engine guy. I am super excited to bring to you today, at long last, the mysterious Radical Race engine. The 6-cylinder 300 Ford that had the Boss 302 heads. The 3 Boss 302 heads that engine building legend Sherman Sleigh cut up into 6 individual segments, welded together, and put a cross-flow 351 Cleveland style Boss 302 cylinder head on top. One of the strongest Ford engines ever built, the 300 6-cylinder Ford. Not only is this thing magnificent to look at, it's nearly one of a kind. There's more of these out there, but everybody that sees them thinks they've seen the only one. This engine and this car is a former world record holder, and actually, as of right now, it's for sale. I'm going to tell you all about that. I'm going to tell you all about this engine. I could talk on this thing for days, but if you're only here to see the engine run, you can fast forward to the end. That's when we're going to run the engine. But this has got an amazing automotive history story behind it, and I'm really excited to share it with you. This here is a 6-cylinder Ford 300. We have aluminum rods in it. We have Boss Cleveland style racing pistons in it, gas ported pistons, roller cam, a timing gear setup that can be modified, which is for indexing the camshaft in and degreeing it in. So that's a little bit different on this. Full roller rockers. This has got every pro stock modification to this cylinder head that Bob Glidden made famous back in the 70s when he ran his Pinto and he ruled the planet with a 351 Cleveland. You couldn't get any faster than that. We have that here on this particular engine. And the thing that makes this engine run would make so much power is that this being a 6-cylinder, it's got a 4-inch stroke instead of a 3.5-inch stroke like a 351 Cleveland. And because of that, it has a lot more volume in the cylinder that makes these gigantic ports, these intake ports that this thing has, it makes them flow so much better. This is a torque monster. This was on a dyno before it came to my shop. I didn't dyno it. I restored it. I didn't try to do anything different to it. I got the honor and the privilege to go through this engine for my friend Rob Cook that I've known for 35 years. The actual owner of this car is David Cook. That's his dad. And David Cook is a retired racer, and he's up in age now, and his racing days are done. And his 2 sons, David and Rob, are taking care of him. And this car is up for sale. It's going to be that's money to help with their dad as he gets older. But we'll talk about that later. If you're interested in price and things like that on this car, you can hit me up with an instant message. But please, I'm going to get overwhelmed by this. This is one of the coolest cars I've ever seen in my life. The video went viral as soon as I put it on the assembled engine. We had 2 million hits in 60 hours. It went viral immediately. So please, serious inquirers only. I get overwhelmed with the amount of response I get. But just to hit on some of the great highlights on this car. When you look at it, the very first thing you see is this beautiful injection system. Trying to get my shadow out of here. The sun's not cooperating today. This valve cover is the Moroso valve covers that all us Cleveland guys always run. You see these on everything. But look at this. It's turned into a 6-cylinder. Actually, it was cut off here, and if you had this off, there's a beautiful TIG weld that you can see on the inside, and all of this was machined and put back together and chrome plated to where it looks like a factory Moroso valve cover. This has the Ford exhaust plate down the side where the port in the cylinder head it flowed. It came out with a sharp angle. They actually cut off the top of that. They moved the port up higher. This is a Bob Glidden design, to the best of my knowledge. He was the first one that done that. But it makes the head flow better. On the intake side, some of them ports that the bottoms of them are filled in. This is a 392 Chrysler Hemi fuel injection system that Sherman Sleigh, who was the original founder, designer of this thing, built this whole system and modified it to put on this vehicle. Everything in this car is unique. It has what they call a clutch flight transmission, which is a Chrysler transmission behind a Ford engine, and instead of having a torque converter, it has the input shaft has been modified. It has a clutch disc in it, so you can leave off of this with all the RPM you can possibly get out of it, or wherever you want it to be, and you leave on the clutch, and then second and third is automatic. I got to speak to Mr. Sleigh himself. Mr. Sleigh is in his 90s right now, and he's a genius. He's a fabricating genius. These things here, things like this, where we just couldn't pick up the telephone and call for racing heads and racing blocks. We had to build everything. And those guys, I built my business off of them people. They laid the foundation for guys like me. Mr. Sleigh is such a genius. I don't know if I'm qualified to wipe the dirt off his wrenches and put them away. This is such a cool car. I just can't say enough about it. The story that he told me was that when he first got this done, he told me it was 1970 when he first raced this. He brought it out, brought it up to the finish line, to the starting line. He was racing Competition Eliminator, and he told me, I had a conversation with him on the phone. He told me his very first pass, he broke the world record. He said, and when he got to the finish line, the people come up to him, the officials, and told him, "Congratulations, you set a new record. Don't get out of your car." They said, "We know you're cheating. We just don't know how." And they towed him back. They towed him back to the tech department, the tech section, and they checked the car over. They couldn't find nothing. This particular engine has been done by a few people. As I said earlier, everybody who sees this engine thinks they've seen the very first one. I've been in business for 46 years. First one I've ever seen. First one. I've been told by several people that they built these to race in circle track racing, and every class they raced in, this engine got outlawed because it makes so much more horsepower per cubic inch. This engine is making naturally aspirated over 2 horsepower per cubic inch. This thing was dynoed at 625 cubic inch on a 6-cylinder Ford. Think about it. If you had a 454 Chevrolet, how easy is it for you to take a 454 and get 2 horsepower per cubic inch? Are you going to make 900 plus horsepower on a naturally aspirated engine? That's a feat. That's a feat. This does it. And what people don't realize about this engine when it first came out, and I said earlier, it's the 4-inch stroke. That 4-inch stroke made this thing come alive. To this very day, if you get online and see any of the amazing 351 Cleveland engines, almost every single one that's making major horsepower is a stroker engine. This has got the stroke to it. It's just missing 2 cylinders. And when this car here, come on back here to the back. This has got a little tribute on it. David Cook put all that back on it because it's the history of the car. See, it was built by Sherman Sleigh. The car ran 71 to 72, class winner 71 nationals, class winner 71 U.S. nationals. Best ET 856. 856 back in the 70s. Is that freaking amazing or what? It's got wheelie bars up underneath it. It's all built up under here. Your on and off buttons. For your power, just God forbid, they can come out, if you had an accident, they can come out and shut all the power to the car off right away. The car is beautiful. David Cook out of Pasadena, Maryland. This car was formerly known as the Sleigh one. That was what Sherman Cook was known as. I'm sorry, Sherman Sleigh, not Sherman Cook. Sherman Sleigh, he called his car the Sleigh one, which was pretty cool, I think. This is a piece of racing history. Mr. Sleigh told me that his first season out with this car, that he raced it in 9 national events. He told me he won 7 of them, and the other 2 times that he lost is because he left too early, turned the red light on, and was disqualified. But he completely and utterly dominated with this engine. So if guys like and share. if you follow me, do me a favor, like and share this. These are good people. Rob's been a friend of mine for a long time. This car is going up for sale. He's a straight shooter. He'll tell you everything he knows about it. The engine is brand new. The transmission has got 3 or 4 runs on it since the last time it was freshened up. So you got a beautiful car here. My personal belief and wish is that I'd like to see this in a museum, because I want to see this forever. I want my grandkids to see stuff like this. But unfortunately, like I said, Mr. Cook is he's not racing anymore, and the money for this project is going to go to help take care of him in his old age. So if you have any interest in his car, please inquire to me personally, and if you don't, please like and share it. I'm asking you to do that as a personal favor to me, because I'm trying to help my friends. Let's bring this over here. Here's a little piece of memorabilia that's beautiful. This is back from Mr. Sleigh back in the old days. AHRA, IHRA, ran a 917. I mean, this was a cool car. And honestly, I didn't have, when it first came out, it didn't have every single modification to it that it does right at the moment, but it was bad to the bone. It was bad to the bone. I've had so many people ask me to build them one of these, and the situation is that I got to rebuild it. I did not fabricate it. The actual process of building the cylinder head is amazing. As I said earlier, they took 6 Boss 302 heads. They cut them up into individual segments, and the reason they did that is because the part of the block where the cylinders are, from the center line of this cylinder to the center line of this cylinder, we call the bore spacing. And the bore spacing is different on a Cleveland than it is the 300. So in order to get the cylinder head to line up and have the valves exactly over top of the cylinder, they have to cut it, space it, move it around a little bit. There's some guys online right now who's doing all kinds of crazy things with putting different heads on top of other engines, and they're wobbling out bolt holes and all that kind of stuff to make them work. Yeah, they start up and run, and it's impressive. It ain't that, because that was done by an engine building legend. That was done by Sherman Sleigh. It is amazing what he did with this. I've been doing this for 46 years, and if I'm this blown away by it, I know you ought to be. So we're going to fire this thing up. I know you're all waiting to see this. It's been a long time coming, but life takes over, guys. I'm sorry. I would have never put this thing online back when I did if I'd have known we were going to be this long getting it done. But now I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad we did. Like I said, Mr. Cook's had some health issues, so between taking care of him and getting the car ready to go and so forth, and like I said, life takes over, so the family's just finally getting it together. So I hope you guys will help me sell this. I'm going to get Rob to come on in here and help me fire this thing up, and I'm going to get this out of the way because I don't want nothing to happen to it. Little alcohol primer down the tubes. And hopefully she'll kick right off for us.
Is the battery on?
I did not turn it off. Yep, fire it up. I tell you what. So the engine is just like the paint. That camera does not do it justice. The sun is going in and out here today. I apologize. We got shadows all over this, and the paint looks like it's plugged in when the sun hits it just right. The engine is so much louder. It's healthy. It's clean. It cracked a little bit when it first started up, but that's because we're dumping fuel down the injectors. He's also been tuning the car and so forth. The very next thing that we'll do to this is pull the plugs out of them and clean them one last time. Now that this thing is completely running, but she's ready to go, guys. And if you're interested in the car, give me a call. I can't thank you all enough for being patient. I know how bad everybody wanted to see this, but nobody wanted to see this thing run more than I did. I've heard about these since I was like 19 or 20 years old. I was 59 when I finally got to do one. So it's been a while ago, so we're not going to talk about that. All right, guys. Thanks once again for sharing and liking. Thanks for being patient, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.